back. Ghost of Tea, episode 64. Alright, is this our last episode? Is it the last episode? I don't know. We've defeated the Khan. He's dead. And our uncle has asked to meet us. All areas have been liberated. So I can't imagine there being much more to this.
Tsushima isn't here. I'll wait for him on the dock.
So obviously it's going to go to a certain time of day. So we swap out of our armor?
Uncle.
I wasn't sure you would come.
That's interesting.
I wanted to talk with you. If we work together, we can drive off the remaining Mongols. Start rebuilding our home.
That is not your duty. The Shogun has disbanded Clan Sakai. As of today, you are no longer samurai.
I sacrificed everything for my people. And I would do it again.
New samurai are coming to replace those we lost. They will occupy your land and estate.
I have to say goodbye to my home.
Ride with me.
Why did it swap to that? That's weird.
Will you remain in Chito of Tsushima?
Yes. The Shogun asked me to train his warriors to fight the Mongols.
Good. They won't give up until they've conquered all of Japan.
I will spend what years I have left ensuring they fail. A task I hoped we would face together, as father and son.
You can still remarry, start a new family.
Yes, I suppose I can. Looks like he could use a push.
Here, let us help you.
Do not trouble yourselves, my lord.
Nonsense.
You can't do it alone.
You are much too kind. The mud is thicker than it looks.
That's a heavy load. Where are you headed?
Jogaku. The ghost army is up there.
He has an army.
You didn't hear? They'll sail for the Mongol steppes with a storm at their back. Burn their homes to the ground.
An impressive goal.
This is everything I can offer them. I hope it helps.
Then we will see you on your way.
Thank you, my lord.
Jogaku is many miles from here. Keep away from the mud and the Mongols.
I will.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Not here. Follow me.
I don't have an army.
Every day, more people flock to your cause. The Shogun is concerned. I am concerned.
You have nothing to fear.
When the new clans arrive, will people bow to their samurai? Or betray them in the name of the ghost?
I won't let them do that. They'll listen to me.
You openly defied me, Jin. My most trusted warrior. You taught our people to disobey their leaders. What makes you think your followers will obey you?
I mean, that's a valid point.
Walk with me, Jin.
As you wish. My family's cemetery.
The resting place of 7 generations of Sakai, including your mother.
And my father.
We must pay our respects.
I will miss this.
So will I. The Shogun has declared you a traitor.
He ordered you to kill me.
The ghost was an outlaw. He taught our people to defy their leaders.
To defend themselves.
With poison, a gift you gave to our enemy.
I had to stop you from throwing away our people's lives.
You have no honor.
And you are a slave to it.
We gonna fight our uncle here?
You are my son. Now I must continue the line of Shimura without you. I must start a new family.
And my head is the cost.
Taking it is my punishment. Our final day together. It is beautiful. It's time. Write the last words of Clan Sakai.
And Clan Shimura.
Oh, is this the final haiku? Is this why I couldn't find it? This was not a very good one.
Strength in every step. Fate neither of us want. This is where we part.
Your parents will always be with you.
Yes, Uncle.
I will train you to become the strongest warrior Clan Sakai has ever known. I will raise you as my own son. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Oh boy!
I can't fear the Shogun. The wounds dealt my spirits will never heal.
Killing me will only make them worse.
I can't fear the Shogun.
You want revenge for my failure.
This is not my revenge. Honor me with a warrior's death.
Hmm. Hmm. Finally a decision. We get to this point. What to do, what to do, what to do. Well, all right. What do we think here? I wish I knew if it was going to have an impact later on in the story, if there is one. So if we kill him, let's talk this through a little bit. I'm going to spend probably way more time on this than I need to. If I kill him, that's kind of living by his way. What that might do once the other samurai arrive, we don't know. We let him live. Alright, I just wonder if we let him live, would he continue to hunt us? Would he, because he failed the Shogun, would he, would he ultimately kill himself? Would the Shogun kill him for failing to kill me? Alright, decision's been made.
I will make sure you are remembered as a great warrior, a wise leader, and a father.
Thank you, my son. Find me in the next life.
I will.
I mean, so the logic there was, I mean, he did try to kill us. Probably would have continued to kill us, or tried to kill us, had we let him live. Is that it? Can we skip this? So again, the logic there was, as I was saying, he did try to kill us. I mean, let's be clear on that. And had we let him live, you got to think that he would still try to hunt me down. Had we let him live, had we not, I mean, the Shogun, the other samurai would have come looking for us, whether we let him live or not. And if we let him live and they knew that he failed, then they would probably kill him anyways, and maybe not in as honorable of a way. So that was sort of the thought process on that decision. Interested to see if there's any sort of follow-up here. We'll let it run here for a second. But I'm glad that we didn't try to squeeze this in last episode. You can see, I mean, we're 20 minutes in, so there's no way that we would have come, it would have been bad trying to squeeze that in last episode. So we made the right call and in it when we did. And I wish we could... Hey, there we go. Finally. Okay. Skip the credits. Let's see what happens now.
Fallen at my family cemetery. Beautiful. Even in death.
Oh, so it went to white. It was black before. Interesting. Okay.
Used to think I only needed a horse, a bow, and my katana. Smells almost sweet, but it's as deadly as any blade. Yuriko helped me pick these for my mother. I can't believe she kept them all these years. Jin Sakai is hereby an official student of Sensei Sadanobu Ishikawa. What have I gotten myself into? Tomoe didn't need this anymore. I hope she found what she was seeking. Yuna's knife. The blade's dull. Can't believe it's still in one piece. You were faithful to the end, Sora.
Sorry, horsey.
You should be here, Ryuzo. Trading stories, getting drunk.
Horse.
Kenji's best. Or so he tells me. We'll have to share it soon. The twin mountains of Clan Sakai. I won't let my family fade from memory. First the Mongols, now the Shogun. Never imagined I'd be so popular. Taka's trial run, before he made my grappling hook. He didn't want to disappoint me. And he never did. I lived under these banners most of my life. Lady Masako lost everything. And everyone. If she can keep moving forward, so can I.
Okay, so...
Jin.
oh,
I like your new home. It suits you.
It will have to do, now that Clan Sakai is gone. And I've been branded a traitor.
I heard about your uncle. I'm sorry.
He's gone. I did what I had to.
Matters is you're alive. You defeated Khotun Khan and left the Mongols without a leader. The mainland is safe.
But our home isn't. The Khan's forces are stuck here, more desperate than ever to conquer our island.
Then we'd better keep fighting. Just don't forget. Tsushima needs you.
I'll never forget that.
Good. We'll cover more ground if we split up.
Hit the Mongols from all sides. Take back our home.
Goodbye, Jin. And take care of yourself.
I will. You too, Yuna.
I mean, it's already... done, right? I think we're done. Like, I don't think there's anything else to do. We gotta get somewhere a little bit better for the final thoughts. So let me go right here. What's this place? Yeah, here we go. This is a good place to maybe wrap it up here. Nice little background there. So let's just check here. I don't know where that... okay, so that haiku was that haiku was that last one we did there. So we did everything except a few Vanity Gear things, which I'm not sure what we had to do that. So yeah, I think we're done. Again, I don't see anything else on here. I would have thought that it would have maybe, if there was another undiscovered location, now that the game's over, it might show us that, but doesn't. Either it doesn't do that, or I just found everything. The fact that I achieved all those little things makes me think that I probably don't have anything else to discover. Obviously, we didn't do these legend ones. Again, I think those are for multiplayer, I believe. And if not, I'm sorry, but I think that's what they're for. I don't see anything else. Yeah, I think we're done. I'm sad. This was good. So, okay. All right. I think we're done. Okay. So, some final thoughts here. Where to begin? Took us what, 60, whatever, 65, however, 66, however many episodes it took us to get through this thing. Really good. Really good game. I said multiple times throughout how I couldn't. I shouldn't say couldn't believe, but I was shocked at. Again, I'm playing this on a PS5, but this was a PS4 game. It came out before the PS5 was released. This was PS4 all the way. And I mean, obviously, end of the generation PS4, and that's when you get your best game, just because that's, developers were able to kind of maximize the potential of those systems. But still, PS4 game. Really impressed with it. The cutscenes were really well done. Great voice acting. I wouldn't say the voice act. I mean, the voice acting was really good. I wouldn't say that there was anybody I felt that did like a tremendous job. I mean, whoever did Jin obviously did a really good job. But again, I wouldn't say any voice acting was great. It was just really, really good across the board. Visually, really beautiful game. The colors I love the colors. With these leaves and the different leaves, they're just very vibrant colors. You had whites, yellows, reds, purples, even the greens. I mean, the colors were so beautiful. And that was really, really cool. I mean, right, like when you see the leaves falling, that's just, I love those visuals. Those are awesome. What else? Story was really good. I mean, the Mongols being the enemy it's a good enemy because the Mongols, as they existed historically, don't really exist today in that sense. You obviously have Mongolia, the country, but it's very different than when the Mongols were around. So it's a natural choice for an enemy, and I know this wasn't obviously a historically accurate as far as like it actually happened, but the Mongols did try to take Japan and failed many times. So that's them failing in Japan is true to history there. But story was really well done. Again, it was pretty straightforward. Not a lot of twists and turns. I didn't think, not that I recall. I thought the side stuff was really good. Everybody had all of our allies. The one that I wasn't really a huge fan of was the Norio one. That was probably, in my mind, the weakest. I don't know what everybody else thought, but hopefully people played it. Again, I said this throughout, which was, what happened there? Screen just kind of went black on me there. I said this throughout. hopefully people actually played those side storylines because they were, I mean, they were really good. But yeah, I thought the Norio one was the weakest. I I don't know. I had a hard time connecting with that storyline, and I don't know. Just his character was not very memorable, and I don't know. That was my least favorite of those side storylines. I thought the I don't know if there's one that would be the best. I thought I want to keep saying Tomoe, even though that wasn't the name of our ally. The Tomoe storyline was also very good. I think at parts it got a little repetitive with what his viewpoint was, just so we gotta, it was we gotta kill her, and I failed her, and all this. I mean, he just kind of kept repeating that same message. I would have liked to have brought her in, Tomoe, the cat character, into that side story sooner than what it did. I feel like that could have added some dynamics. I mean, when we did 9 of those missions, and she didn't show up until 8, and didn't show up with Sensei until the last one. I think if you would have brought her around a little bit sooner, that could have really made some interesting dynamics and everything. What else? I thought actually, and I think I mentioned this too. We were playing one of the side missions that I thought, at least I really connected with, was, and I don't even remember the name because I butcher names all the time, but the older lady that helped, kind of allowed us to, not allowed us, the older lady that took care of us after our mother died. I thought, even though I think there was only 2 or 3 of those stories, those I thought were really good, because what those did was it added some backstory about, her relationship with Jin's father, about after Jin's mother died, and their relationship. And then I think, as I mentioned too, with her having her mental deterioration, that was, for me, it was emotional because, as I mentioned, I think during the episode, I've had firsthand experience with that, with older family members, that, just you have that Alzheimer's, dementia, whatever it may be, and it's such a sad thing to see, and I thought the very end, whenever she was talking to Jin and referring to him as his father, and then him playing along, realizing, him playing along and just, pretending to be his father, and then talking about little Jin. I thought that was, for me, the realest moment in the entire game. I thought that was so true to life, and just, like I said, that really hit me a little bit, because again, it's tough on family members that go through that and have to see loved ones go through that, and yeah, that was, like I said, I thought that was the most, for me, was the most emotional part of the game, and I thought it was the most real, and yeah. So enough on that. But I thought that little storyline was brilliant for kind of what it did there. What else? So we touched on the storyline. Again, it was pretty straightforward. Other than that, nothing I think we kind of saw the thing with the uncle coming to a head, you know, and you're not fighting the right way. You could just sort of see it building. So I don't think that in confrontation was a surprise. If you remember, I predicted it super early on. Maybe, you know, I'm sure maybe some people saw it coming from day one, but I felt that kind of coming, so that wasn't a surprise. You know, I do think that they could have made the Khan, given him a little bit more face time. He just would kind of pop up here and there, and then that would be it. And you gotta have strong characters from a villain standpoint. I thought the character of Jin was really well done. You know, his initial internal conflict, and then his dedication and belief that what he was doing was right, and his uncle's belief against that. I thought those two characters were very well developed. But the Khan was just sort of like, oh, he's just a bad guy, you know, which he is. But I thought they could have done a few more, added maybe a little bit more layer to him, given him some more face time or something. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, so there's that. Oh, geez. What else? Let's just kind of come here. Some of these, yeah. Again, I'm glad I'm doing it. Some of these exploration things. The bamboo strikes were pretty cool. Those were neat. Those were nice little things. The shrines were neat in that, you know, those sort of you climb up and get them. And I touched some. Not a lot of this is going to be brand new, but the shrine stuff, you know, especially when you're doing those climbing and hooking and stuff like that, I really appreciated how much it flowed, and you didn't have to be like absolutely to the millimeter perfect or you fail. Like it said, okay, when you would jump to like a rope that's going across, attaching, like I appreciated how the game knew, like, okay, he's obviously jumping to land on the rope. He's not just jumping off the mountain. So we're going to make sure he lands on the rope. That was very much appreciated. And I loved how whenever you would, sometimes, there'd be some times where I would think I'm going somewhere and I would fall and die. Thank you so much for not making me restart at the beginning of that. Like, I can't tell you how many games don't do that, where it's like, you're like 80% of the way up the thing and you fall, and then they make you all the way back to the bottom, or a start point that's not even close to where you just were. And that, I hate that when they do that. There is a game on the channel, at least at the time I filmed this. There may be more now. I'm sure there's going to be other games this way. But at the time that I filmed this, there was another game that I had done that those sorts of things were extremely frustrating to me, and I got to, you know, as fired up as you'll probably ever see me on the channel. And so I very much appreciated not having to do that in this game. Those were nice. The haikus, I can't, again, at the time, at the point of me filming this, I can't recall me doing a game or having a game that did something like that. And I love those haiku things. I mean, they were simple, they were really neat. So I like those. You know, I liked, you know, the leveling up was fine. You know, the mechanics were good. You know, the different stances, I don't know how I feel about the different stances. I get what they were trying to do with different enemies. You have to approach it differently. So I'm okay with that. I didn't love it, didn't hate that. I liked the two bows were nice. What else? Easy to switch between stuff. I didn't always use some of this other stuff, so I don't know. I'm not sure about that. What else? From maybe a mechanic standpoint. The Well, I'm going to come back to that because I kind of went in with some, maybe or at least touch on this a little bit later. I'm rambling, I feel like. The world, again, I already touched on the colors, how beautiful they were. I mean, look at this. Look at that right there. Look at that. That's just gorgeous. See that kind of red light coming across there? That's just absolutely gorgeous. This game is so beautiful. I mean, look at the some stuff coming off the water. This is what I'm talking about. This is so visually, it's so well done. The reflection there in the water, that is, oh, that's so lovely. So lovely. The third region that we were in at the end to end the game, the one with that was much more snowed, that was my least favorite by a significant amount. I like this sort of setting here. Like, part of the reason I came here was because the setting is just, I just like it a lot more. Now I do like mountains, but part of the reason I didn't necessarily like the snow one is I just didn't feel that it was. I didn't feel like there was as much there as here in these lower two regions. I felt that it was just a lot of empty open space. And again, maybe that fed into the storyline. You know, not a lot of people there just because of the harshness of it. You know, there was some stuff that was, yeah, obviously scorched earth sort of stuff. But that was my least favorite region. As far as entering into the other regions, the story, I mean, it almost had to be done the way it did, where you do one region, then you expand to the next one, then you expand, because of the whole you're beating back the Mongol thing. So it kind of had to do that to fit the story. I do wish, and I obviously, the way that I played the game dictated some of this, which was I uncovered an entire region. I liberated it completely. I did all the side stuff. I did all of that, and then we progressed the main storyline, which took me to another region. So part of what I'm about to say was just the way that I approached playing the game. But I do wish that it would have allowed for some more inter-regional stuff throughout the game. Because, you know, you look here, once the main storyline ended here in this region, you know, you're kind of done with it. You know, once the main storyline ended here, you're kind of done with it. There were a couple points where I came back. There was that one Tomoe storyline where we came way down here for some reason. I think I came back down here once for like the saddle, and then I think there was like maybe one undiscovered location that for some reason popped up that I came back down for. But other than that, I didn't really ever revisit a region, which is a shame, again, because of how good the world was. And I don't know how you fix that, given the storyline, right? Because it was, you get to another region because you beat the Mongols back. But I don't know, I would have liked to have been able to have had reasons to travel to the different regions throughout the game, or at least, you know, beginning Act 2 or something that would allowed for that, or would have give me a reason to come back here. Give me a reason to come, you know. But again, a part of that is the way that I played it. But I think you could drop in stuff much further into the game that gives me a reason to revisit. Add some side missions that don't show up until a little bit later, you know, just or something to make me revisit these regions, because they're so nice and so well done. I think that's it did I touch on the world? I think I touched on the world. Fighting, I touched on the stances, things like that. One of the things that I liked was I never really got tired of the combat. You know, I think the only time I ever sort of avoided or didn't fight somebody was it was the very end of the game where you come across some guys and they're fighting the bear, and I was just like, you know, And part of that was just because it was like I'd be fighting like one or two guys maybe, and I didn't need the predator hides at that point. So that was the only thing. But no, I mean, you saw I never shied away from a fight. Like anybody that I saw on the road, I'd go up and fight them. The combat was really, I never got tired of that, and I think, yeah, it just was smooth. Never got really tired of that. The one thing with the combat I did mention this too is, I say hate, but sometimes I get annoyed when games as you progress, as you get, it's almost as I get stronger, the enemies get stronger sort of trap, which is like, well, what the crap? Like, why am I? Well, who? Like, why? I might as well just stay weak, right? I never understood that. I've never liked that, which it's sort of takes away the benefits of leveling up and all this other kind of stuff. So okay, yeah, I'm much stronger now. I have all these new abilities, but who I'm fighting has them too. I think I always, again, but the storyline, it kind of fit that, but I would like there to have been that last region. There were some points where it was like, this is kind of hard. Like, it was dramatically harder, I thought, from the other two regions. Just keep that same difficulty, or maybe just if you want to throw in a couple additional troops or something, that's fine. But like the archers is a good example. In these lower regions, when I would sprint at them and do that quick slight, I'd kill them easily. In the north, it was like it didn't kill them, and I just didn't. Why not? Like, it worked. I crossed this river here, and boom, it works again. So I wish didn't necessarily do that. I wish that if I shot somebody like in the face with an arrow, it would have killed them. Or if I hit somebody with a longbow, maybe they die. So I wish that they wouldn't have done that as much. But other than that, not a lot to complain about. The stealth was nice. I liked the chain assassinations. That was neat. Standoffs were fun. It's this is a game. I think a lot of people. Part of the reason that this game, I think, it was so well received by not just me but by other people and just got so much love. Again, I mean, this is a very well done game. Very, very well done game. But I think part of the reason why it's gotten so much positive reception is it's a game that people have wanted for a long time, I feel like. And I'm going to make a comparison that I'm sure a lot of people have, but the common thing is, this is the game that people wanted from an Assassin's Creed storyline. And kudos to Sucker Punch for kind of beating them to the punch. Because there were points where it definitely felt like that, and I'm all for that. Because you all know how much I love my Assassin's Creed series, one of my favorite series of all times. So I think that's part of why it got so much positive response and love. Was it just was something that was people wanted for a long time, and they definitely delivered. Absolutely delivered on that. Let me see here. Am I missing anything? It was a really long wrap up. Oh, the other thing that I liked about this game was how grounded in reality it was. Like, you didn't get any weird monsters thrown in. You didn't get any weird trippy things. Sometimes I feel like games will throw in like a something, I could very easily see them do something weird like, oh, he gets poisoned or something, and then he hallucinates, and it's us fighting like a giant serpent or something weird like that, and it's like, what the crap? What is this? And I think sometimes developers put that in just because it's like, oh, it's a video game. We got to make it a little fantasy, and we got to, I don't know. It's just, we just got to have this, I don't like that. Like that's not, do the game like this. It was perfect the way it was. You don't need to add that other stuff in. So I'm glad that they didn't do that. So, but yeah, I liked how grounded and now I say that, and I say that right before I say this next thing, which was probably one of the like, oh god, come on guys, parts of this, and I commented on this throughout the game. But look at this again, visually, look at this, sun setting, absolutely gorgeous. Reflected in the water, love it. Anyways, what I talked about during the game, we gotta talk about the horse. We gotta talk about the horse, guys. The whole teleporting horse thing from anywhere thing, like, that's not real, obviously. The ability to whistle, I could have been on foot and ran 600, or 500 miles and whistled, and my horse would have been there immediately. That's obviously not real, but I think, again, as a video, recognizing it as a video game, recognizing that that's one of something that people get annoyed with when they deal with these sort of settings of games where you're dealing with horses and you don't have vehicles and things like that. It's like, I don't want to have to run all across the map because I can't get to a horse. So I can get on board with that. If I'm jumping off a mountain, the horse has got to die. Like, there's got to be, there's got to be some ramifications for the horse. If my horse gets hit with a giant sword, it's probably got to die. So I think I get it. Definitely added an emotional punch whenever you're fleeing and the horse dies, for sure. So I think that's probably why they said you keep with the same horse, you keep the same name. Honestly, like, I would rather have not had that connection with the horse and there been some realism, probably. Because there were times where it was like, oh gosh, come on. Like, and it extended to me too, like where I would fall with the horse and then I would be flown clear of 3, but I wouldn't, for whatever reason, I wouldn't take damage. So I think that was something that maybe could have been maybe done a little bit differently from a design standpoint. But I'm nitpicking. Like, that's something, there's very little to really criticize on the game. It was so well done. I loved it. I really did. It was really, really good. Again, is it gonna make my sort of that top 10 I always refer to? Probably not. Just it's because it didn't have it definitely had emotional moments. It definitely had a good story. I'm not saying it didn't, but it's not. It doesn't. And I hate using this comparison because it's very few games, if any, do. But I think about like The Last of Us Part 2. Those stories are like, I mean, that's hard. I hate using those because those are like on another level. It's almost like unrealistic to expect other games to get there. But the storyline wasn't so immersive that it was like, I gotta keep playing. I need to see the next storyline. So it wasn't quite on that level, I don't know. It was super fun. But yeah, there was never a point where it was like, if I got on and played it, for however long I played it, I was fine kind of shutting it down. I wasn't like, oh, I got to do like, an 8 or 10 hour marathon, things like that, which you sometimes get with some other games. But I don't want to be too critical because that makes it sound like I didn't like the game. Loved it. Listen, I will say this though. I think maybe this will help answer how much I liked it. There's a lot of games that that they have games and they come out with a sequel, and I'll play it just because it's a sequel. But it's like, I didn't really need one. I would absolutely, 100% say I hope that there's another one of these. I would love to see what they do with it. Maybe we go to mainland Japan. Who knows? But I would absolutely play another one of these. I hope they come out with another one, because I really, really had a good time with this. Hopefully you guys had a good time watching it. And didn't bore you too much, hopefully. But sadly, this is going to be the end of it. I'm sure I missed something in the wrap-up that I'll touch on, but I've been talking for quite a while now, and it's probably time to say goodbye. But no, I appreciate you sticking with me on this journey if you did. Hope you had fun. Feel free to check. Got lots of other series out there on the channel. And so feel free to see what those are all about. I got nothing else. I think not that I can say here in the next couple minutes. Yeah. So this will bring it into our series, Ghost of Tsushima. I think we'll say it here in the last episode. I said the first one, and I went with Ghost of T after that because I didn't want to insult the names, but this will bring it into our series, Ghost of Tsushima. And again, appreciate you stopping by. Awesome game. Great job, Sucker Punch. Let's have another one, shall we? Let's have another one. Thanks again. Come on back, and we'll see you somewhere else.